Falcons drafted Michael Penix Jr. What are your 2 cents on it?
When it happened, completely perplexed. I was sitting there trying to make sense of it, and I couldn't. And then, obviously, I went to bed, and I had a couple conversations about it this morning. And
with who? With others from Atlanta? Did they reach out to you?
They didn't reach out to me. No. And
right.
But I just I sent this emoji eyes to a couple people, and they're like, "Go ahead, ask it." And I was like, "Okay, why?" And when it was laid out to me, totally made sense. And then I started to think about that information. I was like, I actually like the decision. Okay, so a couple of things. I've shared this, but number one, they had Michael Penix as the number 2 quarterback in the draft, top 4 player. He was neck and neck with Jaden Daniels for them, so they valued the player. Number 2, they realized and expected. This is a team that won 7 games last year with pretty darn poor quarterback play. They think they're going to be pretty good with Kirk over the next couple of years, so they don't believe that when that time comes to go get that next guy, it's going to be as easy as, even myself thinks it is to get up in the draft, to go get a guy that you really believe is that talented of a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And the third thing was they went out for a private workout with Michael, and they said 50 degrees, windy day, and everyone thought they were inside watching him throw the football. And they said,
I saw him too throw the football. And again, going all in on criticizing the pick, as I guess I did to start this program. And not Jerry Jones all in. I literally went all in.
It was like De Niro. You disrespect a little bit?
I didn't disrespect.
A little bit?
No,
you prefaced it by saying it wasn't.
No, I prefaced it by saying this has nothing to do with Penix's ability.
Right.
Or rightful top 10 pick in this draft.
Sure.
It has nothing to do with that. The kid throws it. He's unbelievable.
Right.
It's just that then why are you paying Cousins $100 million? Why are we doing that? Why
my guess is that they.
And then let him throw out a first pitch at the Braves game and talk about, I'm going to retire here.
Right.
And they clearly have other plans on that front.
Well, my guess is that there was no really, this is part of how the NFL calendar works. Free agency, teams go from the season to free agency, right? And I would imagine. And so free agency happens. We have to figure out the quarterback situation. Who do we go after? All right, so we're going to go and sign Kirk Cousins. And then you transition to the draft. Again, I've never built a team, but this is my assumption of the chronological order of how it goes. And then you start to do your due diligence on these prospects, and you get this quarterback, and you're like, man, we're kind of intrigued with them. We pick 8, and then you have this workout, and he throws the ball as good as anybody but Matthew Stafford, in their words, as far as people that have been around a guy like that. And you sit there, and I'm Rich, if we think about the 3 most important people in the conversation, okay, the owner has been searching for the quarterback since Matt Ryan left, or Matt Ryan retired. So then you're sitting there as the owner going, I don't want to be in this anymore. And then the head coach, Raheem Morris, just was a part of the Rams and going, okay, if you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. And the general manager, Terry Fontenot, was in New Orleans when they didn't have the plan for what they were going to do post Drew Brees, and they were miring in what's the guy, who's the guy next. So I think the vision of looking forward, I understand. I do. I see both parts of the argument and the conversation, but when someone sits there and says, this guy we thought so highly of that if we were at 2, Jaden Daniels goes at 2, we thought they were that same type of quarterback. I understand it. I do. And I think it's smart because we have so many teams, and they realized they weren't going to be able to get up in the future. They just Raheem came from the Rams, right? What have the Rams done for years with their number 1 pick? Get rid of it because it's pointless. It's eventually, and I think that's what they envisioned. What their next couple of years with Kirk is going to be is they're going to be picking late in the first round.
I just find it again just mystifying that you go in free agency and you do what you do in free agency and you pay the quarterback what you're paying him in free agency. And I understand the 2 years are the 2 years, and after that, who knows. And the hoopla is so significant. He talks about, I'm going to retire here. And the entire time he's talking about retiring here and throwing out a pitch at the Braves game, they're pounding the pavement on his replacement.
Yeah.
And that is a wild way to build a team and try and win now for the team that is set to win now. And that's a locker room is going to have to deal with it. And obviously Raheem Morris, that's what he can do. And he's outstanding at dealing with personalities and figuring all that out. it's just a weird way of going into the 2 seasons of saying, hey, we're all in on you. We need you to win right now. We'd love to win right now. We think we can win right now. But the clock's ticking.
But isn't that always how it is when this situation presents itself? It's always weird. Like when they took Aaron and had Brett, it was weird. And then when they took Jordan and had Aaron, it was weird. When they took Patrick and had Alex, it was kind of weird. They were just coming off of a playoff run. I believe Buffalo had went to the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor when they took Josh. So that was a little, maybe not as weird. And the money, I understand, is different. I think that philosophically, hearing, I guess, the thought process and the vision of it all, I understand why Atlanta did what it did. And we can also pretty comfortably say they don't have to worry or think about quarterback until like 2030.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.